Hello, my beautiful people. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Depends where you are in the world. It's afternoon here. Nice, bright, beautiful afternoon. The sun is out and sun is life. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you are looking after yourself and your loved ones and people around you, and you're being a positive addition to this world. Sun is life, as I always say, and it's in England we don't get many sunny days, other than that we have obviously some hot summers, and so when it's a sunny day, it's like we try to make the most of it, because obviously then we head towards the winter months, and that is hibernation time, so you don't really get much to do in winters. The normal life, day-to-day life, obviously continues. It just carries on the way it goes. But you'll see the change in people's moods. You'll see a change in everything, because, of course, as I say, sun is life. And when we're in winter months, and it's because it's a cold country in general, and it's an island, so then it's been for a very, very long time. It's been a trend that British people go around and they actually visit other places, sunny places, wherever they can find sun, they just go there. And Spain has been quite, a desirable destination for so many Brits, and they go there and chill out and have fun and, have a holiday and come back to cold weathers. So, but that's fine, that's okay. Why I'm saying this? Because in one of my videos, I talked about when we go to some other country, when we go to some other place, we have to be a better human. We should be a better human, because it's like when you come out of your house, you are the ambassador of your family, your home. You are the introduction to those people who brought you up and to that environment where you were brought up. So basically, same goes with the country. So when you're out of your country, you are an introduction to the people. Not everybody has been to England. Not everybody comes to England. So when you go out of the country, then you are the introduction. You're the ambassador of this country in an unofficial way. And then if your behavior is not appropriate in any way, shape or form, then, obviously people think this is how you are. And then, they can also generalize it, especially the people who have never been to England. I was talking about the countries where people migrate and come to England, and then they behave the way sometimes they behave so unreasonably, and obviously it's very difficult to deal with that behavior. Like we had the riots in London just some time ago, and we've been having these problems for the last few years. And if you go back in the history, we did have some problems even then. So whenever this happens, and obviously the locals, they complain about the migrants, because obviously they're also facing problems because of these people who have flooded the country. These people, the people who migrate to England, or who come to find jobs, or for any reason they come to England and they want to make England their second home, they also forget one thing. Obviously, they don't behave sometimes. They feel like they have more rights than the locals. We all have the government gives you the rights. After you get to a certain stage, then obviously you become British citizen, which is fine, but respect it. Always respect it, because somebody has welcomed you in their country. You are in somebody else's space, and if you want that space to share that space, or if you want a place created for yourself, then wait, just be patient and prove yourself worthy of that place. Prove yourself worthy of being in that place, whichever country that is. I normally talk about England because, of course, I live here, and I know we face problems, and I know how the locals, they also have been deprived, not really deliberately, but obviously indirectly they get deprived of so many things just because these people have been entertained. And how these people also face some problems, because not everybody is so welcoming, and it's not just people who are coming up with justified or genuine complaints about the migrants, but there are so many people who come, unfortunately, out of hatred or prejudice, and then that is obviously quite a test for these people. It's a challenge for them because they have come to a different country, they're trying to make home, they're trying to make a life here, and then obviously they get degraded or they get insulted or they get pushed away. But it takes two to tango, both parties, because this migration is not going to stop. I'm not talking about illegal immigration. Obviously that has got to stop immediately, and there's no question about it. But I'm talking about the people who legally come into the country, whether it's England or wherever. But because we're talking about England, so the people who come legally to this country, they have to check out what happens here. They have to try to understand the environment. They have to try to be a part of England, not try to make their own country independent little country in England. That's not fair. It's just not fair. You can also continue with your whatever religion you follow, that should be respected here as well. Whatever clothes you wear, whatever culture you're coming from, yes, okay, it's called mix and match. We all learn from each other. I can still, if I don't want to go into that detail because the video's time goes so fast, but we still find so many English words in the Urdu and Hindi, and so many Urdu and Hindi words in English, which have become a normal, it's a norm now. They have been actually accepted in British dictionary. They have been recognized now. Anyway, so I was talking about so in general, whenever somebody goes to another country, it's a very big challenge and responsibility. It is a responsibility because it's like, when we were little, when we were young, when we were growing up, we were told, when you leave the door, remember, people will know your family through you. People will know even in the school, everywhere. So how you've been brought up, what have been your upbringing and what environment and what kind of family you come from. So basically, same goes with when you go to another country. And if you cause problems and you become a nuisance and you become selfish or you try to turn everything, change everything around as you want, it's not going to happen. It will only cause problems. And the problem is never an answer to another problem. Solution, you need to find a solution. You need to mellow down your behavior. You need to be more adaptable. You need to be more understanding. And I'm talking to both sides of people. And I'm strictly talking about the legal migrants, not illegal migrants. They have absolutely no right to be here. They should not be here. Or in any other places, wherever people go illegally, I think it's very unfair. And it's also a very big, it's a danger, it's very dangerous because it doesn't always, go successfully. Anyway, so I was talking about when British people in the cold weathers, when they want to go and find sun somewhere, Spain has been quite a desirable destination for them. And even I've been going to Spain, but few times recently, not very recently, but yes, few years ago, I actually experienced something which actually made me think that I should talk about it in this video. When I arrived at the airport from that point in Spain, at Malaga airport, when I arrived at the airport from that point till we went to the hotel and all throughout my stay, I experienced people were so reluctant. They didn't want to speak English. I'm trying to keep it as compact and precise as possible because the video's time is 9 minutes something. And I was surprised. Why? Because Spanish people, previously when we saw them in England or even in Spain, they were very friendly, and even the people who don't speak English, they were actually struggling and trying to, speak because English is like kind of bridge language. So obviously the people who can't speak Spanish, they could only communicate with them in English, and they used to try that to facilitate them. But unfortunately, in those trips to Spain, I actually noticed that people are so reluctant and actually kind of like angry. So the hotel I was staying in, because I saw the taxi driver, I saw so many people, not going into the details because as I said, the time, So then I said in the hotel, I was talking to somebody and I said, I don't understand why these people are behaving like this. And people were even to me, I personally actually heard people saying to me, speak Spanish, otherwise we don't know. So I'm like, I don't know Spanish. I know a few words, but I don't speak Spanish. You know, I don't live here. I respect all the languages. I really like Spanish as a language, like the sound of it and everything. But I don't know the language, so how could I speak it? But they were insisting, even the taxi driver. Now, AD and AC, what's the difference? There's not really much difference, especially when you're pointing at the machine and saying, it's too hot, please turn the AC on, please turn the AC on. And he's sitting there like ignorant, driving, and then you say this, and they say, oh, AD. No, they call it AD. So what's the difference? AD, AC, and especially when the machine is right in front of you and you're pointing at it. But that reluctance, that ignorance, I experienced so frequently. When I spoke to someone in the hotel, they said, this is the result of what has been happening. Now, let's not generalize it, because obviously, you know, in every country, we are all different. We behave differently. I'm only talking in particular about the people who have been doing it, and they will know they've been doing it, obviously. This is the people from England used to come here, get drunk, go to our hospitals, shout and scream and swear at our doctors and nurses, misbehave in every public place because they used to feel like they are the bosses. And our currency was obviously very weak at that time because euro had not been introduced at that time. So they said, oh, because they used to come with a stronger money, they used to think like we are their slaves and they are the bosses. And that's what people experienced. You know, with some people, I don't know what would be the ratio. It was like 50% people or 20%, but yes. So this is what happened. And they said, as soon as the euro has been introduced and the country has picked up and they have stronger currency, now they don't want to know these people. They don't like them coming to this country. Or if they do come here, they still want to keep a distance, and they, you know, this hatred that we create with to other in other nations with our behavior, it's not a very good behavior. Like I said, you are the ambassador of your country. You are the introduction of England to wherever you go. So when you are in another country, no matter how strong currency you're holding there, how much money you've got, what kind of king or queen you've been wherever you live, but when you go to the other place, then respect that country, respect that environment, respect their customs and the way of living, whatever lifestyle they have. Only then you can survive there, and only then you can be accepted there. So anyway, the video is too long. I was trying to answer a question that somebody asked me on the comments and said, some people say that, you know, because of the colonialism and colonization and, you know, people, Brits are not, we're not liked and all that. No, that should not affect anything. Why? Because that was not people's decision. That was, at that time, whatever governments have been, it was their decision. It's a political decision that was taken. Now, we can't really judge people or talk about people that the nation is totally different from obviously the politicians. They can be, because they have to take their decisions accordingly. And the general public, sometimes they even don't know what decisions have been made. So I don't think it's fair on British people to hold them responsible for any colonization or anything, or make them a target of any hatred of whatever happened previously. It did affect people's lives so badly. I'll talk about it at some other time. My grandparents used to tell me the stories how their life got affected. But let's not make it a wound. Let's move on. Whatever happened, happened. And just, again, I will say it, it was not British people's decision. It was that time, whichever governments were there, it was British government's decision. And then we all make mistakes, and hopefully we learn from our mistakes. So that doesn't mean we start hating each other. So political decisions are different, and people can be totally different from that. So let's just try to get on well. Try to get on well together. Try to respect each other. Try to move on from the bad memories. Try to make a better future for all of us by respecting each other, loving each other, understanding each other, creating space for each other. Can you try to do that? I'm sure you will. Anyway, thank you so much for your comments. I really love, even when I see one number increased in my subscribers, please subscribe to the channel. Please help me to grow, make this channel grow. And also, I also reply to your comments, so please send me your comments and keep watching. And have a lovely day. If you're in England and wherever you are, if it's sunny, just go out and about and make the most of it. If it's a miserable day for today, if it's a gloomy day, rainy or whatever, then do something that interests you. And I'll see you in my next video. You are a beautiful person because God made you beautiful. Behave beautifully, because life is also so, so, so beautiful.